In August, most people are trying to squeeze in these last few trips to the beach or prepare for the school year. But a new study finds that the end of summer may actually be the best time to book travel for the holiday season. Joining us now is travel insider Mark Murphy. He's also the founder of TravelPulse.com. Mark, thanks for being here.
Great.
All right, I'm not ready to think about the holidays, but this is the time?
Okay, if you want to lower your anxiety level, go ahead and book next week. But there's also surveys that say if you book 6 weeks out, you're still safe because there's a very small difference. So the question is, who do you believe? And this latest one is looking backwards at last year's trends, which doesn't take into account that capacity's up this year, that we're actually seeing some of the lowest airfares we've seen in years right now in August. So things do change on a go-forward basis. But I just say if you want to just relieve anxiety and make sure you get the seats where you're all sitting together for that holiday trip, book now.
All right. And so how much could we possibly save if we book next week?
So next week they're talking, gosh, up to 18%. You could save depending on the routes. You'll find some routes there's big savings, other routes not so much. And that's the issue with the airline business. There's no set formula for where, when, how to buy. Always just try to get the best value and try to use a travel agent if it's a complicated itinerary to book your airfare.
But if you can't jump on these deals next week, are you out of luck?
No, because you know what? They're forecasting that even if you're 6 weeks out, you're still going to save 7-8%. So it really just depends on timing. And also keep this in mind, if they add more planes on some of these routes, guess what's going to happen? They're going to have seats to sell, yield management, prices are going to drop, you're going to be just fine. If they keep the capacity tight, you may get stuck walking or maybe swimming to your Caribbean vacation.
Maybe. All right, let's talk about something else here. Jet setting around the world may seem glamorous, but could it actually be bad for your health? Researchers at the University of Surrey and Lund University in Sweden say frequent long-haul trips could leave people at risk of jet lag, radiation exposure, and even damage family relationships. What do you make of this?
Well, I agree because I travel internationally all the time, and when you go to Asia, you're a 12-hour difference. So you sleep the last 8 hours on the plane, you wake up, it's 8 o'clock at night, and then you have to go to bed because you have to get up the next day to work. So you were tired the whole time you're there, and if you're there for 10, 12, 14 days, you finally adjust, and then you fly back. And you go through it again.
And radiation exposure is really that high?
Well, that's what they say if you're a major, major flyer. But also keep in mind, pilots and flight attendants who spend a lot more time than the average person in the air don't necessarily show an outsized risk for that. So could it be true? We're closer to the sun? Sure. I don't worry about it. I'm a heavy flyer.
Okay, so this seems to be a big trend on social media with people posting on Instagram and showing off where they're jetting off to next. Could people really be at risk?
Hang on a second.
Oh, there you go. Where you going?
A selfie. Yeah, you got a selfie. No, that's the problem, right? And this is one of the things that we talk about with people. They travel and they try to get all these pictures, right? To say, look at me, I'm here, look at me, I'm here, look at me. I wrote a column about it. Let's lose the selfie sticks. Let's take in the beautiful sights, and let's stop worrying about telling everybody what we're doing, how good a time we're having. Let's experience travel for what it is.
And who are these people? Because most people just travel a couple times a year.
Yeah, you know what? There's a huge trend with millennials that they put travel at the top of their list as opposed to material things, which I think is a good thing. It's about experiences because when you have those experiences, especially if they're shared experiences, you have them forever. You might have that car for 3 or 4 years. What's a better purchase? Travel.
Well, let's talk about eating while we're traveling because there are better food options coming to the airport. Increasingly, airports are adding restaurants and shops that feature some of the city's best food, giving travelers a taste of the local flavor without ever leaving the terminal. This seems like a great idea.
Yeah.
What's driving airports to do this now?
Well, first of all, think about all the connections now. So we used to have a lot of airports that provided nonstop service to different destinations. Now they feed through the major carrier hubs. Those major carrier hubs have what? Layovers. Now you have the equivalent of shopping malls and dining establishments there for what? To entertain people while they're on those connections and layovers. In fact, you have to get to the airport early in many cases for an international departure. So wouldn't it be great to get there, have a great meal, and get on your way? So I think what you're finding is more high-end shops, more high-end restaurants, which gives you a taste of that local destination, especially, let's say, if you're connecting through Atlanta. Well, how about a barbecue where they're smoking the meat there at the airport to experience what that's like, and then maybe that draws you back and you say, hey, maybe I don't just fly through Atlanta, maybe I stop and spend a couple of days. And it gives great brand awareness for those local establishments. So, I mean, think about all the travelers building your brand.
Cross-promotion.
International, domestic travelers everywhere. It's a powerful thing.
All right, Mark Murphy, thanks so much for being here.
Always great. Thanks.
Appreciate it.